What is up, Flick fans? Welcome back to my channel. The Screen Actors Guild Awards, the nominations are finally here. They're on Twitter. I haven't looked at them yet. We're going to react together, talk about the implications, how big of an impact this actually has on the Oscar ceremony, and discuss how wrong I have been with all of my nomination predictions. Also, thought this would be a good day to wear my Jane Campion shirt. I don't know if it's getting the ensemble nod, but you're going to see a lot of acting nominations for one of the frontrunners for Best Picture. Thanks, Netflix, for sending that to me. Actor in a supporting role, I see three familiar faces with my predictions for the Oscar. Cody Smith-McPhee, Jared Leto, and Troy Kotsur. It's great to see Troy Kotsur get in there. The more I see from Coda, the more I think it's going to get ensemble when we get to it. But Bradley Cooper from Licorice Pizza, one of my original Oscar predictions that I took off most recently. And here's a big surprise. Ben Affleck for The Tender Bar. You see two very familiar faces on there, but you're also not seeing Belfast being represented in this category. Is that because it's just a shoe-in for ensemble and they said, you know what, we're going to go a different direction with the predictions? So Ben Affleck being on there is a surprise, a nice surprise, because he was the clear standout in that movie. Bradley Cooper, though, in Licorice Pizza, I don't know if they have a shot to overcome the impact that Belfast is going to have with the Oscars, because it's going to be hard to make it over Ciarán Hinds and Jamie Dornan. But man, well, this is already off on a surprising note here. I love seeing Troy Kotsur. Jared Leto being on there cements the fact that I think he's almost a shoo-in for an Oscar nomination at this point. And then, of course, the frontrunner, Cody Smith-McPhee. So we already got some surprises. Let me know down below what you think of this category specifically. Okay, female actor, supporting role. Do not see Ingenue Ellis. Do not see... rest in peace to Mass. I don't see Ann Dowd. And this, for me, you know, when I was doing my predictions, I was thinking Ann Dowd, if she's going to get in, she'll have to get Screen Actors Guild. And I was thinking that she would, honestly, but Mass is a movie that continues to underperform. And because it has underperformed, right, when you're talking supporting actor, the Belfast nominees, they haven't underperformed. Ann Dowd has. So because of that, I think I may be in on Ruth Negga now in that final spot. But you have Kirsten Dunst, you have Ariana DeBose, Catriona Balfe, and DeBose is clearly the frontrunner. But here's the surprise for me, and this is one that I would have never predicted or expected. Cate Blanchett in Nightmare Alley. I mean, she's nowhere on my radar, and this is good news for Nightmare Alley as a whole. That's a film that was really getting snubbed almost everywhere. Do I think this gives her a chance to get the Oscar nomination? Not necessarily. I still believe Ingenue Ellis is going to be, because, again, you have to look at the fact that King Richard is most likely going to get ensemble, so maybe that's their way of kind of celebrating that, other than Will Smith. I'm trying to put the pieces together in my head here, but yet another surprise with Cate Blanchett. Ruth Negga is not a surprise at all. She was right outside of my top 5 with the Oscars, so I think this is what has me leaning more in her direction now than Ann Dowd. It was just my heart was kind of missing Ann Dowd, man. This stinks that nobody's giving Mass a shot, and I don't know if she gets a nomination now. This stinks. Let's take a break from the Oscar implications. All right, let's talk about a category that continues to blow my mind every single year. They're nominating movies that are good movies but have nothing to do with stunts. There's like one stunt in the film, and it's every single year. It's ridiculous. It's always been my biggest frustration with this category in general, but at the SAG Awards, I'm like, can we just... And they did it again, and we're not talking television, and we're just talking movies and Oscar implications in this video, but they did it again with TV. Mayor of Easttown got a stunt nomination, and there are stunts in that show, but there are also thousands of other shows with better stunts. But this time, I'm actually surprised. I think this is a good category. I think these are 5 films that had a lot of stunts, a lot of great stunts, great choreography. It is shocking to me that something like a John Wick doesn't make their category a couple years ago. Matrix does. So, again, how does that work? I believe you've even got the same people working on both. Whatever. Anyway, No Time to Die, Shang-Chi, Matrix Resurrections, Black Widow, Dune. There are stunts, great stunts in all of those movies. I would say, as much as I love the film and it's my favorite on the list, Dune is actually the one that is at the bottom of this list. There are a lot of stunts in the film, but something like Shang-Chi with incredible choreography, even Black Widow and seeing what they were able to do, Matrix, obviously, and then No Time to Die, the choreography in that movie is awesome. So this is one that I'm actually really, really happy with. Stunt Ensemble in a motion picture. So congrats, you got it right for the first time in forever. No. What? What? This is pain. Okay. All right. Well. I don't see Kristen Stewart on here. Where's Kristen Stewart? This is not good. This is not good because, it's one thing making it on and not winning, and then we get a different result with the Oscars. It's another thing not making it on entirely because Kristen Stewart's not on this list. She's not. Where is she? She's not here. And instead of Kristen Stewart, you have, I would say, Jennifer Hudson because, I thought Olivia Colman had a really good shot. Obviously, I had Nicole Kidman firmly in the conversation after the Golden Globe. And now, and Lady Gaga I had as well. But for me, it was Jennifer Hudson over Kristen Stewart. And I don't think that's going to be the case with the Oscar. I think Kristen Stewart still gets in. But she's probably not going to win now. Because this is a big deal, right? You look at the voting body for all of these other award ceremonies, it's a lot of critics. It's a lot of critical reception. This is the Guild. These are people that, kind of reflect who's going to be voting for the Oscar. And, wow. And again, I believe that Stewart is still going to get in, well, maybe, at this point, maybe, with the Oscar nomination, but I don't know if she wins because the preferential ballot and the way that entire thing works. So now I'm looking at it and I'm like, who is the front runner? Who in the world is the front runner? Is it Lady Gaga? I don't know if it's Lady Gaga. Is it Jessica Chastain? She would be, I guess, out of these five, she would be my personal favorite. I thought Olivia Colman was incredible. I just didn't know if that was, and now it makes all the sense in the world because that is Netflix's push. I know this is going to sound crazy, and maybe I was the first one to do it with my with my prediction with the Golden Globes, and I could do it again. Can I be that insane 2 times in a row? I may sit here and tell you that Nicole Kidman is the front runner to win the Oscar. Yeah, I think it could happen, guys. Being the Ricardos is a movie. And this is interesting, too, because now I'm like, okay, is Nicole Kidman the front runner? Is Javier Bardem going to get actor? Because that's the way we're trending. So we'll get there in just a second. But, I'm shocked. I am shocked. I'm devastated because Stewart was my absolute favorite. Her and Chastain, I think they were neck and neck for me. So it's nice to see Chastain get in. It's nice to see Coleman get in. And Lady Gaga is really good in House of Gucci. But again, man, I just, and nothing against Jennifer Hudson. She's incredible. But the amount of people putting Kristen Stewart over Jennifer Hudson, now Jennifer Hudson getting in, I was just like, oh, okay. Where are we? I don't know. Jane Campion. And what did I just tell you? There he is, folks. Javier Bardem, not Peter Dinklage, not Nicolas Cage. Javier Bardem for Being the Ricardos, which makes me think, is Being the Ricardos going to score an ensemble nomination? Is that possible? I think it is after this. I think you have 2. And again, films without a massive ensemble, a huge, heavily promoted cast, probably wouldn't get it with 2 nominations. But there are a lot of you have J.K. Simmons, you have a plethora of recognizable faces in Being the Ricardos. The other 4 are not a shock at all, right? I have the other 4. For me, it was that 5th spot. And Javier Bardem being on here and the love for Nicole Kidman, should I start to rethink my predictions for Best Actor? I don't know if I'm going to just yet, because Cage is still getting a lot of love. Peter Dinklage is still getting a lot of love. For me, they're all neck and neck with each other, but I have to throw in Javier Bardem. It's not a huge shock for me. That's why you're not seeing a big old reaction. But Bardem, he's in the conversation. He's in the conversation. So, man, this is crazy. And now the question is, right, who wins? Who wins this category? I don't know. I don't know at this point. I'm leaning Cumberbatch because that's the way it's been because of Jane Campion. But, yeah, the shock here is really Javier Bardem. And again, I think their performances in being the Ricardos, I think they're good. But for me, that movie, it just didn't do it for me. So it's just kind of surprising to see. Before we keep going, if you guys are here enjoying this video, you want to support this channel, drop your thumbs up down below. That tells me you want more awards content. It's my personal favorite time of the year. I love doing this, but only if you guys want to see it. Oh my God. Sound like a teapot. All right. Well, look at this. Don't Look Up doesn't surprise me. Massive ensemble. It's getting a Best Picture nomination. King Richard doesn't surprise me. Great ensemble cast, but beyond that, it is your crowd-pleasing Best Picture nominee. Belfast, one of the lead contenders for Best Picture. Coda, nice to see Coda. This gives me a lot more confidence in someone like a Troy Kotsur. The one for me, the surprise for me, is House of Gucci. And this isn't a surprise, me saying I didn't like the film. Because again, I liked the film. And I think some audiences really liked the film. And I thought Gaga's performance was great. I thought Jared Leto's performance was super entertaining. I'll say that much. But oh my God. And it's not like I expected Power of the Dog to be on here because Power of the Dog works solely through like 2 to 3 performances. And that's the case with a lot of the Oscar movies this year. But there are a couple movies that missed out on this that I'm thinking, uh-oh. And maybe not a full uh-oh, but something like West Side Story. I thought there was a possibility because even though you don't have the huge recognizable names, that entire cast steals the show. I mean, name after name after name, except for like maybe 1 or 2. But you also had something like The Harder They Fall, which is a pure, I mean, to its core, ensemble piece. And I wasn't predicting The Harder They Fall for Best Picture, but that is a movie that works solely because of its ensemble. So I thought that had an opportunity. Even something like Tick, Tick, Boom. And then the way Being Ricardos has been going throughout the competition. You got Kidman. You've got Bardem. Okay, it's a big cast. Maybe they get it. But House of Gucci? I mean, what do you do? What does it take the does it get in? Does it get in? Because again, these aren't critics voting on these awards. It's the Screen Actors Guild. It's a different group of people. So maybe the mentality, and that's the way it's always so tough. And that's why I said yesterday in my Oscar predictions, it's so tough to gauge solely based off of critics because they don't formulate the entirety of the opinion. That's why there are always shocks and surprises. And then you got to factor in the Globes a little bit because that's a different voting body. And this voting body is the closest to what we're going to see with the Oscars. Obviously, the Oscars voting body is a lot bigger. So, what does it mean? What does it mean? Does House of Gucci get in? Does Being the Ricardos get in? Now that Bardem and Nicole Kidman are being talked about more, yeah, those 2 movies are making a great case for themselves. A great case, and people are going to flip. People are going to flip with House of Gucci because this, like, changes the whole landscape. Like, it has a shot. And I think Leto and Gaga are almost but confirmed. And I had them in my predictions, but I think they're almost, they're almost locks at this point, which is crazy. So, man, I'm trying. It's this crazy. I don't even know. What do I say? And that's all I want to cover right now. We have the TV side of things, but I wanted to focus on movies in this video because we're in the prime of Oscar season. Once again, my favorite season. If you want to see all the awards, just search Screen Actors Guild nominations, SAG nominations. It's over on Twitter. That's where we got these, and that's where I'm seeing everything. Man, this is crazy, and it's going to keep getting crazier. What takes the 10th spot at the Oscars? Who keeps, coming into prominence? Which nomination? Which performance? It's the best time of the year. It's so much fun. And even if I disagree with some of these nominations, it's just fun to cover it with you guys. So thank you for being here. Keep leaving your comments. Tell me your shock factor at some of these nominations. And I'll be seeing you very soon with plenty more awards predictions and reactions. You guys the best. I'll see you later.